morning to all of you. In this class, I am going to start with the new topic of chapter Molecular Basis of Inheritance, and the topic is translation. Translation. So, according to the central dogma hypothesis, which was given by Francis Crick, DNA replicate to form itself. DNA replicate itself to form DNA by DNA replication. And DNA transcribed to form mRNA or simply RNA, or that will undergoes into the formation of translation to form protein chain. So the formation of mRNA is known as transcription, and the formation of protein is known as translation. Simply. Now, in previous class we have discussed about the transcription process, where mRNA, synthesis of mRNA in eukaryotic or prokaryotic are quite different from each other. Where in eukaryotes the splicing takes place. The splicing normally denotes the monocystonic genes, because in eukaryotic cell their genome is large, so one gene synthesizes mostly one type of protein. But in prokaryotic cell, a single cell organism, which is genes of them are polycystonic in characteristic. That means one gene can synthesize more than one protein. So there is no such sequences are present in a DNA which can be removed from the DNA. But in eukaryotic cell, when the transcription occurs, so through the transcription, the genes which are required or which are not required, both are synthesized, both are transcribed on mRNA. So in the processing process, there is removal of such sequences from the mRNA, so that only required protein can be synthesized from that mRNA. So for this purpose, the splicing takes place. But in case of prokaryote, that is totally absent. Now, in the mRNA prokaryote, that is totally absent. Now, in the mRNA, we have synthesized in previous class. Now in this class we are going to synthesize protein in the translation process. Now during the protein synthesis, there are so many enzymes required and factors required for the synthesis of protein. It is quite complicated, because no such rule of complementarity followed by the protein synthesis. Because in DNA or synthesis on RNA, it is quite easier to understand how rule of complementarity followed by the synthesis of RNA and DNA both. Because A always bind with T and vice versa, T is always bind with A, or C always bind with G and G always bind with C. So simply the rule of complementarity followed by RNA and DNA. But it is quite difficult to understand how protein synthesized. There are 20 type of protein synthesized by only the combination of 4 nucleotides. So as we understood already in the genetic sequence, in the genetic code, codons are present in the triplet form or triplet form. That means three nucleotide, a combination of 3 nucleotide add amino acid. So single amino acid coded by triplet codon. So for the protein synthesis, there is requirement of tRNA ribosome. Simply we can write ribosome. And then mRNA, the final requirement, mRNA. Except these are the major constituents. Except these, some translation factor are also required factors. These are translation factor, initiation factor, elongation factor, then termination factor. All these required for the synthesis of protein. Now ATP is also required for the synthesis of protein. Now first we discuss about the tRNA. If we are going to discuss about the structure of tRNA, the structure of tRNA is of clover leaf shaped structure. Clover leaf shaped structure in which different subunits, different regions are present. So this region is known as anticodon. 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 This is D loop, and T loop. D loop or T loop. Now this region is 5' hydroxyl group and phosphate group present at the 5'. So it is a simple structure of tRNA. Now let us discuss about the it is also known to be adoptive tRNA. Or adopter tRNA. Because all the factor initiating factor bind with the D loop, or simply the OH, the 3' hydroxyl group carry amino acid. They bind with the amino acid. They bind with the or carry the amino acid or bring amino acid to the mRNA. Now next is ribosome. Ribosome. So the structure of ribosome are formed by two subunit. One is large subunit formed by in case of if we are going to discuss about the prokaryotic cell. So there are two kind of cells, 70S type of ribosome and 80S type of ribosome. Here we are going to discuss about the first 70S type of ribosome is large subunit. And 30S type of ribosome is a small subunit. Or the large subunit have A site and P site. A stand for active site and P site for peptidin site. P stand for peptidin site. Peptidin site. Actually, this catalyzed reaction A support the bringing of tRNA amino acid tRNA, or they attach with the A site, or peptidyl site have the transferase enzyme that promote the bond formation in between the two amino acid. So have enzyme transferase that support the formation of peptide bond. Now A site help in the stabilize the bond in between the mRNA and tRNA through the anticodon or codon present on mRNA. Now another similarly the ATS also have different site, but still the exit site is also present in the last subunit of eukaryotic cell. Ribosome. 60S is the large subunit and 40S is the small subunit that support the formation of peptide bond or also helping the bringing of the amino acid. Now let us discuss about the translation process. So let us discuss about the amino acyl activation of amino acid and the formation of amino acyl tRNA. During the translation process, there will be formation of amino acyl tRNA, because when the amino acyl tRNA bind with amino acid, also said to be when amino acid bind to tRNA, collectively known as amino acyl tRNA. Now so the formation, how the formation of or activation of amino acid carried out. So here is amino acid bind with the use of ATP and also the enzyme transferase or amino acyl synthetase. Amino acyl synthetase. Amino acyl synthetase, they bind with the, actually there is ATP. Some portion of the board reflects the light, that's why the content is blur only. Now the ATP, okay. ATP. So amino acyl tRNA bind with amino acid bind with ATP. In the presence of enzyme amino acyl synthetase, they convert this into the amino acid AMP monophosphate or amino acyl adenylate. Compound is amino acyl adenylate. Amino acyl adenylate. Now, and also the inorganic phosphate, two inorganic phosphate get released from the ATP, because one phosphate, monophosphate, used in the activation of amino acid. Now, with the help of same enzyme, amino acyl adenylate, amino acyl adenylate bind with tRNA to form amino acyl tRNA form. This is the process of activation of amino acid and also the process of formation of amino acyl tRNA. So that the activation of amino acyl or amino acid and the formation of amino acyl tRNA is actually important during the protein synthesis or translation, during the translation process. So for this, the amino acid bind with ATP by the use of two inorganic phosphate releasing out from the ATP, and that one phosphate bind with the monophosphate bind with the amino acid to form amino acid adenylate. Adenylate then treated attached with the tRNA arm with the 3' OH hydroxyl group, where they form with the or amino acid, and the formation of amino acid tRNA is actually important during the protein synthesis or translation, during the translation process. So for this, the amino acid bind with ATP by the use of two inorganic phosphate releasing out from the ATP, and that one phosphate bind with the monophosphate bind with the amino acid to form amino acid adenylate. Adenylate then treated attached with the tRNA arm with the 3' OH hydroxyl group, where they form with the help of peptide bond with the with the help of phosphoester bond, not diester. Now, during the addition of, so as we know, this is the anticodon or the OH3 prime. So amino acid added to the 3' region of anticodon. Okay. tRNA, sorry. 3' OH group of tRNA. So amino acid bind at this region, bind at 3' OH region. Then just a minute. So now, during the initiation of protein synthesis to the mRNA strand, initiation of protein synthesis started by the mRNA strand, which has initiating codon or start codon. Initiating codon or start codon. At this region, first there is addition on a small subunit of ribosome. It is a small subunit of ribosome added at this region. Now, then after the addition of a small subunit, here is initiation factor 3, or there are initiation factor 1, initiation factor 2, 3 initiation factors are present, which bring the F1 or F3 molecule. Here is F3 and this one is F1, and F2 brings with the initiation factor the tRNA bind with IF2 initiation factor that brings provide energy for bringing amino acid. Or if the start codon is AUG, so AUG always code for methionine amino acid. So all these factors bind with this one. Then after, during the initiation, the tRNA with the help of initiation factor 2 bind with AUG initiating codon present at A site or P site is free from the, and here is methionine amino acid. Now the anticodons are UAC anticodon present on a tRNA strand. Then during the synthesis process, after the addition of amino acid tRNA, finally the large subunit bind. Large subunit of 50S of ribosome bind at this region. Now large subunit bind. Still the A site is free. Now the initiation step is completed till now. Then after elongation start. In the elongation, there is continuous addition of amino acid tRNA at A site or activation site. Then during the elongation, tRNA, for example, if the code is here AAA, so code is U, for example, just only. So U codes for phenylalanine. So here is triple, anticodon are AAA. Again, here is initiation factor 2. When the tRNA carries, because U carries code for phenylalanine amino acid, so the tRNA bind with phenylalanine amino acid, or they present at the A site or here is P site. Now reaction catalyzed with the help of enzyme in between two amino acid, and there is bond formation occur in between these two amino acid. Methionine with the help of peptide bond formation, with the help of peptide bond bind with the phenylalanine, or that reaction is catalyzed by, and the bond formation catalyzed by peptidyl transferase. Peptidyl transferase. Now, okay. So this is the reaction overall. This is the reaction which is catalyzed by peptidyl transferase enzyme in between two amino acid methionine and phenylalanine. So here is the overall about the initiation or an elongation proceeding. The direction of genetic code is present on mRNA. So here is overall about the DNA sequence or mRNA sequence codes. In next class we will discuss about the termination and rest of the other content of elongation. I hope you like this video, student. Thank you for listening and watching me.